Yeah.
You know, like Puffy is a great example. Like Puffy doesn't play an instrument. He doesn't know how to do anything on the board except turn the volume up and down. But he knows how to make an artist deliver a great performance. And
Yeah.
he knows when the drum beat is right. He knows when the bass line is right. He knows when the record is feeling like all the elements are there. That's a producer.
Did you ever work with him?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
The truth about working with Diddy, we got a video by Serge Joban, a great channel, and I definitely recommend you guys should subscribe. I'm subscribing my other channel, right? So don't at me if you don't see the button. But nonetheless, we're gonna actually understand people's experiences working with people like Diddy and other people from, of course, a producer and engineer's perspective. Let's get into it.
This is how I stumbled upon this, actually, like my own epiphany, is I had a connection to a pretty like B-lister rapper who he used to be on Cash Money, actually, and I was supposed to do a beat for him. So I like put together like this extravagant beat and I sent it to him thinking like, this shit's dope as hell. It's gonna be way better than anything someone sends you. So then my guy's like, nah man, he doesn't like it. So then he gives me like a list of stuff that he's been, you know, either rapping on or stuff he's listening to, and it's all like West Coast, you know, Tupac, Dr. Dre type of stuff. So
R.I.P. Tupac, man.
I literally rip off a B-side from the Chronic. I don't actually like, you know, take the samples, but I basically am like, I'm just gonna make a beat that almost sounds identical.
Sounds alike, right?
And I make it in 30 minutes with the samples. I basically mix it to like as I'm going, and I send it immediately. Oh, he likes this one. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. I actually
So bro was out there doing type beats.
felt like disingenuous about it at that point. I was like, I don't even think I feel good about this, you know?
There are producers like one of the
Now, before he goes ahead, right, I want to literally show you guys who this guy is, right? So he is Adam, of course, Kagan, and if you look at his credentials and what he's actually done in the past, like, it's ridiculous. By the way, go and support him, man, and go and hire him on Sound Better, because this is a platform where, of course, you want to work with the best and the greatest, etc. You can literally just go on there and hire their services, etc. So you got to be supporting some of the older lot because, bro, they have the experience, etc. And I think the reason why I'm even making this video as well is literally just because I understand what's going on with Diddy right now, etc. Now, like I said in my previous video, I don't condone absolutely anything he's done in terms of essay, etc. But as a producer and engineer, it's always very insightful to understand how the legends basically operate, and also hear from engineers and producers' perspective as well, because we see the true sides of artists when it comes to the creative aspect anyways. Being in the studio, creating the songs, being vulnerable, etc. And one thing I've realized is that with a lot of producer and engineers, unless you brand yourself like a Metro Boomin or these type of producers, or like a Dr. Dre, for example, no one, the general public just doesn't care. You know what I mean? They don't want to listen to what we have to say or anything like that. It's part of the reason why I started taking personal branding serious. And you can see me with the reaction channel. You can see me obviously give my opinion outside of music as well, alongside obviously music on the channel as well. So you can just basically, I'm building an audience that I guess is just like me for me, and then obviously are interested in music, right? So shout out to Adam. And yeah, I think that's the reason why obviously we're making this video right now. So yeah.
one of the producers that we talked about earlier.
So don't at me in the comments saying, oh, but you just made a video about Diddy, etc.
Was a superstar producer, had a great year last year. I asked him about one of his records that was very controversial, that was super famous and won a bunch of awards. And I said, what did you think about when you were doing it? Was that even in your mind? Like, were you going like, this is a hit, or people are going to be freaked out by this and not know what to think of this, or this is going to create a shitstorm because this artist shouldn't be doing this or should be doing it or whatever? And he goes, I don't know, I made a dope beat and let them write what they wanted on it. And I was like, you didn't participate? He's like, I wasn't even there when they wrote the lyric.
That's
He's like,
crazy.
I heard it when it was mixed.
Wow.
So to him, it was like he made a great beat, and he knew the artist was a strong artist and they were going to write something cool over it. And
Yeah.
he's like, I did my contribution.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, because obviously I love researching about music and everything around it, right? But I think that's something that's very, very popular within obviously hip hop, and you could say the more urban type of genres, because when you're looking at other genres such as, for example, pop, etc., it's more of a collaborative kind of approach, whereas like everyone's either all in the studio together, or the writer has some sort of contact with at least a producer and they're writing the song alongside each other, or something along those lines where there's involvement on a higher degree, right? when it comes to hip hop, it's almost as if though the artists don't necessarily want the producer to necessarily be in there unless you're part of like the clique or the immediate kind of circle. And some people basically say that's the reason why a lot of the things basically sound the same, it's very monotonous, etc. So I don't know, is that what is causing, I don't know, the downfall of hip hop at the current moment? And do we need more collaboration, more people in the studio, and actually going back to the ways that we used to do it before? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments, because I'm always reading the comments regardless.
And I look at that and go like, can he call himself a producer if he does that?
Well, and that's why I felt that way about when this happened to me, because I was like, I don't really feel like I did anything here.
Well, here's the thing. I have this conversation a lot with like young and upcoming producers and artists. Is making a beat like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's one artist I work with who takes like 8 bars from any record he likes and writes a new song over it, and then mutes the sample and sends his vocal to a producer and says, make a new track for this. And he does that so he doesn't have to give any publishing to the producer because they're doing a remix. And so he wrote it over a beat that...
And that's a very interesting kind of creative process. To be honest, a lot of people do that right now with like type beats as well. I've worked with artists where, for example, they'll go on YouTube, they'll find a beat from YouTube, but maybe they want to make certain changes. Now, I just say to them, look, I'm not going to like just outrightly just copy and steal this guy's beats. Either we pay for stems and we basically work around it, or I'm gonna have to basically create something entirely new. But everyone has their different hustles. I'm not gonna be here and lie on camera and say I haven't recreated a beat before, because we all have, you know, when we're obviously coming up and trying to make our change. But overall, I always encourage people to either pay the producer or let it be a collaborative kind of experience, and everyone basically come together to make the record basically make sense. But that's actually a creative way to do it, because it's similar to back then. You would have people, for example, have a guitar and they would just start writing a song, or maybe a piano, start writing a song, etc. Because obviously when the digital landscape, I kind of understand why people are now taking more so that approach when it comes to writing songs now. But yeah.
With someone else is 100%, but he didn't write the same song that they wrote, right?
Yeah.
And so if you make a beat based on somebody else's beat, and the artist is like, oh, I love that, let me write to that, and they send it back to you, and you go like, okay, cool, now I'm going to make a break, I'm going to do some transitions, I'm going to make the second verse feel a little different than the first verse, I'm going to make the out chorus feel bigger than the first chorus. That's the craft of it, and now you've made a record.
Yeah.
And that is 100% what a producer does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the producer, to me, like, beyond beat making, the main thing a producer does is gets the artist to deliver a solid record.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not in the room when the artist is performing, you're not producing the song.
Yeah, definitely.
You're just making a beat. You're just a
yeah,
track guy.
you're a beat
right?
maker. Yeah.
So that's, to me, like, I work with.
And I know a lot of producers have that kind of point, and to be honest, overall, I do agree. Where, for example, if you're a producer, you don't necessarily have to know how to make beats, but you need to know how to basically produce a song and get the best out of the artist to make that song come to life. You know, some of the best producers, for example, like I always mention, someone like Quincy Jones. Yes, this guy could play, rest in peace, Quincy Jones, right? This guy could play all sorts of instruments, etc. But let's be real, he was out there. Let's say if he had composed something, he'll get other people to play it and basically put things together, for example. And there's a lot of other artists, producers that are basically do the exact same thing and have that working process, right? Someone like even DJ Khaled as well. Like, that guy, he knows what a good, well, at least when he was popping, right? He knows what a good record basically is. And he has given us hits, you know what I mean? Put things together, etc. So it's a different working mentality. I think my only, you could say, reservation about it is when producers are now beefing other producers, or beefing like beat makers or loop makers, and saying, oh, you guys aren't real, or you guys are not adding much to the track, etc. Because, bro, they've contributed to the record. Why are we beefing each other when in reality there's so much money to go around? And in reality, we're the people that drive the music forward and create a new wave, etc. If the producer community and the engineer and the songwriter community were all together, bro, a lot of artists won't be taking the piss when it comes to us. You know what I mean? So I don't really know, bro. It's almost as if though when people make it to the top and do their thing, all of a sudden they get to a point where people are not on a vibe, like, oh, F the white ends or the people that are basically coming up. So I don't know, bro. I'm sorry to pause the video, but hold up. I'm pretty sure you're enjoying the content so far, right? So if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to hit the bell so that it notifies you every single time I drop a video. That helps the channel grow and helps the community grow to the moon. See you guys back in the video.
These days, when I work with artists that I'm producing, I often will have them go online and find a beat that they like on like Soundport, Beatport, SoundCloud, whatever, and then I contact that beat maker and say like, can I buy this beat from you? You keep your publishing, just don't sell it anymore. Send me your stems, and then it always comes up like, cool, am I the producer? And I always say no, you're the writer, and I'll say you did keyboards and programming by you, production by you. I'm the producer because I know how to make your beat into a song.
Yeah.
And I'm going to write the song with the writers on this. I'm going to get the vocal performance, arrange the background vocals, and take your song and create it, finish it.
Yeah.
But some people will not say, isn't that the job of an engineer, for example? What technically is not, is the producer's job. Or even, there's even vocal producers as well. Bro, that's what I'm saying. The music game, there's so many roles and so many, you could say, non-rules that everyone's just kind of making their rules up. Because what he's saying isn't necessarily a made-up rule. It's actually what's supposed to happen. But, you know what I mean? No one really it's a wild, wild west, basically. That's the brunt of what I'm basically trying to say. But like I said, educate me in the comments if you agree or disagree.
If you want to do that, go ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm doing that, and I'm the producer.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you your fee, and you'll keep your publishing, and
Big up him for doing that as well, though.
I'll list you as the track guy or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you're not the producer.
Yeah.
You know, like Puffy is a great example. Puffy doesn't play an instrument.
Now, this is the brunt of the message and where I wanted to basically get to. But the reason why I didn't skip to that clip is because I wanted to just show you guys the mindset of, you know, successful people within the industry. Because, yes, I have a lot of takes when it comes to music, and I've helped a lot of artists develop. I've been in, you know, camps and been part of projects, or being a part of people's journey towards success. And some of them are killing it right now. If I start name dropping, obviously, you know who's here, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, I don't have a Grammy yet. Shout out to, like, my boy just got a Grammy nominated the other day, so big up the man them and everyone that's doing their thing. I don't have a Grammy yet. I don't have a platinum record yet, etc. But is work in progress, you know what I mean? And that's something I'm still striving to do. I went more so you could say, independent route. I'm monetizing my music by working directly with artists, and it's something that I actually, you know, teach other people to basically do. So if you're interested in that, literally just click maybe a link down below, or hit me up on Gram or anything like that. I'll obviously walk you through how you can basically do it for yourself. But I've gone basically the long way road so that I can stay in the music, perfect my craft, monetize my talent, and then now I'm on a journey, obviously, after building a personal brand and making it a cash cow. I'll eventually go and tackle the industry. That's just basically the way I want to basically do it. But everyone does it their own way, so there's no rules to this game. But let's get back into what he's saying regarding Diddy.
He doesn't know how to do anything on the board except turn the volume up and down, but he knows how to make an artist deliver a great performance.
Yeah.
And he knows when the drum beat is right. He knows when the bass line is right. He knows when the record is feeling like all the elements are there.
There's even some records that Diddy does that, bro, there's no melody, just drums. And the way he's getting the artists to perform and deliver, bro, I can't lie. In terms of, I know it's like, it's hard to separate an artist from their art, but as someone that loves music so much, I know it might be controversial, I try my best to, because it's like, I don't know, bro, it's like, if we start to conflate the two, which I know is hard to not do, but we conflate the two too much, I feel like no one will listen to me just in general, because all of the legends, for some reason, there's a scandal or something behind them, or etc. Like, there's, bro, you know what I mean? So that's why, me personally, I try to appreciate what they've done in terms of, you know, the music side of it and the art side of it. Everything else, like, bro, that's stuff I can't really condone. Do you get it? So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you guys can resonate with that as well.
That's a producer.
Did you ever work with him?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I did the what was it called? In Paris record.
Oh yeah.
Which was,
That's a huge record, dude.
yeah, that was a mess.
That's like a huge record. Jay-Z, that's crazy.
That was a shocking experience for me. Because,
Why?
Because I had heard so much about how Puffy doesn't do anything in the studio.
Wow.
And these girls came in who were like the artists on a couple of the songs, and they came in wearing like crazy outfits, like mink jackets and high heel shoes and like crazy makeup. I mean, it looked like Vegas call girls, not to be insulting, but that's what it looked like. Like,
yeah.
what are these strippers doing here?
I hear you.
And they go in the vocal booth, and Puffy wasn't there, and they're like, we're going to record a song. And they gave me the Pro Tools file and I open it and we start recording, and I'm like, wow, this is awful. Like
did it
I
just
don't know
sound
what.
bad, or is it
Like
just
there was,
not
yeah, it was just like they
organized?
were just like you take 5 random girls off the street and bring them in the studio and say sing a song, and it just sounded like that. Like
So you're trying to figure out like what's the vision?
I wasn't trying to figure. I was just the engineer on this session, and I'm just going
Yeah.
like, this is a mess. Somebody's wasting money on this session today, whatever. And then at some point, a couple hours in, Puffy shows up,
Okay.
and he's like, "What are you guys working on?" They're like, "Oh, we recorded the song," and so he plays like 10 seconds of the song. He's like, "No, no, erase that."
Oh
And
shit.
and then so I start a new session and bring up the track again, and he's like to one of the girls, "Come in the booth with me,"
Yeah.
and they both put on headphones, and she starts singing, and he starts like jumping up and down and like going like, you got to deliver it like this, and this is, you got to mean this, and this line has to be sung like this. He's not singing her any ideas.
He's just telling her.
He's like just hyping her up and going like, this record is means this to me, and the audience is going to hear this. And then she started singing like a singer,
Wow, that's crazy.
and I was like, oh shit, like he just made his $1 million.
Wow.
Like he made this happen in 1 second
Wow.
with that girl in the booth.
That's so insane.
And I don't.
And I don't think people understand how hard that is to do, bro. That's the reason why, even with myself, like, I personally see myself, it's not that I see myself, like people do see me as, for example, a producer or like an executive producer, because even the way I've approached, you know, helping artists and stuff like that, yes, I can produce and actually make beats. Obviously, there's people that will co-sign and I'll be like, yo, he's dope at making beats, etc. But majority of my music time, etc., obviously, because I'm running a studio, I'm running a business, right, is actually just engineering. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of how I was even able to make it into music full time was through engineering, let's be real. But even when it comes to developing artists and things like that, right, there'll be certain times where maybe they'll play me a beat or play me something that they're trying to work on, and I'll be like, scrap that, let's do this. And there'll be other times where, for example, in the past, where there'll be sessions where it's almost like you can ask these guys, yeah, it's almost as if though like I'm pouring into them and basically showing them like, look, this is where you need to go, do this, do that, take away this, subtract, etc. And these guys will tell you, they've run, the ones that anyways, they ran the play, obviously they're doing their thing right now. Do you get what I'm saying? And my aim anyways going forward is I've done that maybe 1-to-1 in terms of sessions and things like that. I feel like the next trajectory for myself is basically just doing that at scale and also doing it, you know, with multiple artists at the same time. Hence, obviously having a platform like YouTube and live streams and stuff like that. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But my people, nonetheless, appreciate you making it to the end of this video. I love the music stuff, man. Of course, the controversial, it gets the views, but the music stuff, that's inherently who I am, day in, day out. You know, and to even hear stuff like that, I'm just like, bro, there's a lot of work even I need to do as well. So my people, then, if you like it, just leave a like. It boosts up in the algorithm, gets it out there, and also allows people to basically see that, yo, this is what we're on this channel. Comment your thoughts down below if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, and leave a subscribe, because we're trying to grow the channel all the way to the moon. No worries. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.